Now, most of us have heard of Esperanto and know that it is a planned language that was intended to be used between people from differing language backgrounds. Speaking for myself, that is really all I know about it. Here to shed some more light on the subject is Stan Riggs, a leading expert on Esperanto. Stan, why don't you begin by telling us who was behind this fascinating linguistic phenomenon?
That sounds like as good a place to start as any. Well, Esperanto was developed over a 2-year period sometime between 1877 and 1885 by a Polish doctor called L.L. Zamenhof. Now, Zamenhof grew up in a multilingual society, and he was convinced that a common language would be necessary to put an end to many of the problems that lead to international rivalry and conflict. He rejected the major languages of his day because they were difficult to learn and would give their native speakers an advantage over non-native speakers. He also rejected the 2 dead languages he was familiar with, Latin and Greek, because they were even more complicated and unwieldy than the major modern languages. Amazingly, he began work on his planned language when he was only a junior in high school, but he eventually published the first textbook on Esperanto in 1887, when he was newly married and just starting out as a doctor.
Obviously a very bright lad. Do we know where the actual name Esperanto came from?
Indeed we do. The word, which in Esperanto means a person who is hoping, was adopted as a pseudonym by Zamenhof for his first book. It was gradually adopted in popular parlance as being the name of the language itself.
Very apt. Aside from Esperanto, are there any other so-called constructed languages?
Believe it or not, there are at least 1,000 of them. The most successful of these is probably Bahasa Indonesian, which was developed by a Dutch linguist in the 1920s and is still spoken today by around 80 million people in the Republic of Indonesia. 2 of the better-known constructed languages in this country are J.R. Tolkien's Elvish tongues from The Lord of the Rings and Klingon, used as background material in the more recent Star Trek movies and the television series Star Trek The Next Generation. But of the various planned languages which have been developed over the years for international use, the best known would have to be Esperanto.
In your opinion, is Esperanto superior to other planned languages or other languages in general?
Well, linguistically speaking, Esperanto is neither superior nor inferior to any unplanned language. Whether it's superior or inferior to other planned languages is open to debate. Speaking from personal experience, for an English speaker, Esperanto is perhaps 5 times as easy to learn as Spanish, 10 times as easy as Russian, and considerably easier than Chinese.
If it's that easy to learn, maybe I'll start taking lessons.
You should give it a try.
We're going to take a short break now, and afterwards there will be...
Do you speak any other languages?
Tu manges du camembert?
I don't know what that means. Hey everyone, welcome to D News, and we have a special guest today, Alice Gillet. Hey Alice.
Hi, Trace. What about you? Do you speak any other languages?
Mi español es me, and eu estoy aprendo portugués. So no, probably no, I don't.
Well, that's too bad, because guess what? Being bilingual actually makes you smarter.
I heard that. I wish I could do it.
Yeah, researchers at the University of Edinburgh studied the benefits of being bilingual and found that speaking multiple languages can actually slow down the brain's aging process and delay dementia.
It's not actually the first time, though, that researchers have tried to understand the impact of learning 2 languages, right? But until now, it's been hard to tell whether learning a new language made you smarter or whether smarter people tended to learn a new language. It's the classic debate.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, and that's why a new study in the Annals of Neurology focused on old people instead of kids.
Researchers gathered data from 835 native English speakers born in Edinburgh, Scotland. They were given an intelligence test in 1947 at age 11, and then 65 years later, they took another test, and out of 835 participants, a third said that they spoke a language other than English, and of those, most learned it before age 18.
Turns out, those who spoke 2 languages or more had better cognitive abilities than what was expected based on the intelligence test they took when they were kids. Now, what's interesting is that even the participants who had learned a second language after the age of 18 had way better results, which means it's not too late. You can still learn a second language and hopefully become smarter.
And by smarter, they mean scored higher in general intelligence and in reading, which the researchers took to mean they can absorb more information and recall that better than the average person.
And there's more. A 2012 study published in Psychological Science revealed that speaking several languages reduces cognitive inconsistencies and helps you make better, read more rational decisions.
Decision-making in itself is actually a skill which a lot of people, read me, can sometimes lack. But wait a second, this isn't all just super mega guai. There are some downsides to being bilingual too. When bilingual people communicate, the brain activates both languages, which can be a little overwhelming, I hear.
Yeah, a 2009 study from Penn State and another from Northwestern University found bilingual people can be a little slower at finding their words. It's called delayed lexical access.
They also found that bilingual people can't switch off one language in favor of the other. But the researchers did say that might be a disadvantage for smooth communication, but it would be an advantage in thinking things through before acting.
Though searching for words in a conversation can be a little awkward sometimes. Am I awkward?
No, not at all. Well, what do you guys think about learning multiple languages? Is it cool? Is it not cool? Let us know what you think in your favorite language down in the comments. And thanks for watching D News. Please subscribe.